What's up, everybody? It's Greg Birch with Delta Financial, and this is the Be the Difference podcast. This podcast is all about making you a better person in your life and in your business with coaching on sales, leadership, mindset, marketing, everything under the sun when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Today, got a great message for you. This is going to be more about leadership and recruiting. If you are, what I've noticed in this industry is, it's almost the inverse of companies that are that hire, you know, W-2 personnel, salary personnel, stuff like that, that are way more selective. They have a company culture, they have core values, they have ways that they want to make sure that every single one of their employees are a great fit in order to weed out people that would be damaging to that company's culture. Okay. Whereas in insurance, and this is probably most sales and with across the sales industry, what you find is that it's kind of like oh, well, you have a pulse, we'll take you and we'll teach you everything. And so what ends up happening is a a lack of having the right expectations, a lack of expectations. You end up trying to sell every single person that everybody can do this, and everybody can technically sell life insurance, right? Life insurance is not difficult to sell whatsoever, right? If you can speak, if you can write, and if you can read, you can sell life insurance. If you care about other people, you can sell. It's not that difficult. The difficulty comes in the consistency. It's the investing in yourself. It's the following the fundamentals. It's all the little things. It's having to it's relying on your own performance levels in order to make an income. That's the difficult part, right? And that's what people always neglect, because it's like, well, anyone can sell life insurance, and like, oh, you got your license, you can sell, let's go. And you hire everybody. And what I would pose is and posit to all of you that are building your team is to stop and think about ways to set the proper expectations. The reality of the situation is that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And make no mistake that when you've become a 1099 self-employed person, you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner, right? You are your own business. And that is not for everybody. That kind of stress is not something that some people do not thrive under. In fact, they crumble. And if you spend more time trying to sell people out of the opportunity, what you're going to do is you're going to weed out the ones that aren't going to be a good fit, that aren't going to get the work, and instead the ones that are going to succeed, that are competitive, that are going to thrive, they're going to want it even more. And having those right expectations on the front end for people makes a massive, massive difference. Let me tell you an example. So here at Delta Financial, and I've recently I've found that there's other people that other agencies that are like kind of individual small agencies that are direct to carrier. They're doing something similar, and I've connected with them and found that it's a very successful way to move forward. But um, here at Delta Financial, we have a selection process. I don't hire everybody, you know. I can't tell you how many times that when people are like, well, how do I join your team? And I was like, well, you got to put in an application. Once you put in an application, then you're going to go through an interview process, and then you're going to get selected. And if you're selected, then you'll go through the training. The training's pretty rigorous. If you don't make it through the training, you don't go through contracting, right? Um, and people will like balk at that, like, oh, that, no, no, like I know how to sell, and I'm going to do this, and blah blah. I've noticed that that's just a bad attitude to have. If someone's going to be that negative on the front end, they're not going to turn into a positive person afterwards, right? So that's one way you can weed them out. Second is we give them, during the interview, we want to find out about them. We want to dig in. Who are they as a person? Can they handle adversity? Are they positive? Are they humble? Are they teachable? Are they committed? Are they disciplined enough? Do they keep the promises that they make to themselves? If they say, I'm going to come here and I'm going to do my best and I'm going to put in my all, are they actually going to do that? I'm looking for behaviors. I'm not looking for past performance. Okay. I don't care what you did in the past, because that's not today. And tomorrow's not guaranteed. So we got to live every day into the best of our ability. And do they have that mindset? Right. So through the interview process, through the application and interview process, we're able to weed out even more people. We even give a little bit of homework to do. and see if they how they do. See if they even do it. Some people just like, "Psh, I ain't doing that. Dude, if you can't read a couple chapters of a book and write some notes about your takeaways and turn it into us and say, hey, this is what I learned and blah blah. And this is you're probably not going to be very good in the field. You're probably not going to be able to overcome the challenges and adversity and negativity and the everyone that's going to be turning you down. That's going to happen. You're not going to be able to handle adversity. You're not resilient, right? You don't know how to endure challenges. You quit too easily. And that's the importance of setting expectations is you can weed those people out. And this is why it's important is it saves you time as a business owner and as a recruiter because when you may have a small agency, you may be the recruiter, you may be selling as well. You may be you're the business owner. Everything that happens and fails to happen is on you, right? You're doing the training. You're doing everything, right? Wearing multiple hats, and it's challenging and it takes a lot of time. Do you want to take a bunch of extra time with people that aren't going to move and they're going to be negative, or do you want to put in a system and process in place that can weed them out quickly, right? That's a no brainer. It's a no brainer, and it starts with setting the right expectations. It also helps them. I can't tell you how many people were sold this fantastic dream that they're going to come into insurance and they're going to make all this money. It's so easy. Anybody can do it. They come in and they don't have the right training, they don't have the right expectations. They're not trying to do it for the long haul. And what happens? They end up failing. They get grinded out of the industry and they have this negative outlook on it when this is a great industry with some great people. But there's some people that just don't have the ability to hack it. And it has everything to do with their mindset and their behaviors. So as if you're building an agency and as a leader, if you even start to build an agency, when you do start to build an agency, it is imperative that you put systems and processes in place so that you're picking the right people that are going to work well with you. You're going to work well with them. It's imperative that you set the right expectations and tell them, don't sell some sweet lie of a dream. You're going to end up losing people that way anyways, right? There is potential there, yes. But give them the realistic expectations that they're going to be grinding, they're going to be working, they're going to have challenges. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have setbacks. When you start building your agency, you're going to get chargebacks from your agents. It's going to happen. It's part of the industry. That's part of the responsibility that you take on, right? Giving them all the outlook so that they can make an educated decision. Because if that scares them, they're not going to do well in the field. And you saved them time and you saved yourself time. So keep this in mind. Now, if you got any value from this, then do me a favor. I want you to go and share this content with somebody else that's also in sales or an entrepreneur that's building a team that can get some value from it because we grow this by word of mouth. So share it on your stories, send the link to a friend, do whatever you can. I appreciate it. I need your help. We're trying to grow and get this message out to more people. So if you could go on Apple Podcasts and give us a review, if especially in do a little write up what you learned from it. And I appreciate it. This has been the Be the Difference podcast.